Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to episode 2 of Musicology. We now have a name. And I am here with the returning Shill.
Wow. Whoa.
Yeah.
I get quite the introduction.
Yeah, I kept the banner going. I made slight changes.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But it's basically the same entity.
Yeah. So,
we just don't talk about video games.
Right, exactly. So, for those of you who don't know or didn't listen in that era, Mike, your wonderful host here, and myself go as far back as the inception of Geek Tavern Radio, which was originally a video games podcast that we did weekly together, and we had such a great time talking about it, but then, like, life grabs a hold of you, right?
Yeah.
Like, I have a different job than I had then, and I got married, and I have a child now, and, like, for those of you out there who have toddlers, right, you understand that, like, at a moment's notice, your entire day can change because your toddler is absolutely wild. So it's a lot harder for me to find the availability and the time to jump into a podcast with Mike.
Yeah.
But I'm super excited to be here tonight.
Yeah. We'll get you on when we can, and,
Yeah.
Because this is just going to be kind of a revolving door, I think.
Yeah.
When people want to have a discussion about music, do a top 10, top 5.
Right. We
haven't done a top 10, so I don't know why I keep saying it. I really want to do a top 10, I guess.
Yeah, top 10, right?
But, yeah, so we're here. We got another top 5 for you. And the reason we're doing this top 5 is specifically because you're on the podcast.
Right. It's a themed episode.
Because, I would say this is the music we enjoy together.
Yeah, probably.
I
would say it branches into a little bit of both of, you're definitely, like, the metal guy.
Yeah.
But, like, then, for you guys, we're doing the top 5 of our favorite pop-punk bands. For me, like, I love punk rock, right? And it has been a part of my musical journey for the entirety of my life. So, because we grew up in that era together, and Mike and I are, like, 3 months apart birthday-wise, a lot of the pop-punk music that we listened to in the early 2000s, late 2000s, was, a lot of crossover for both of us, to be honest. Like, I'm sure that...
I think you went way deeper than I did.
Maybe. I don't know, but I would feel like...
we'll see here.
Yeah, right. The only reason I ever listened to this genre of music was because of you.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I think if I knew that.
Yeah, well, I think the first time I ever listened to Blink-182, we were at your house for, like, a weekend event that we did, every once in a while. Cousins growing up together.
Right,
you know?
yeah.
But I think we did, you had showed me Take Off Your Pants and Jacket.
Great.
And probably the first song I ever heard was the holiday song.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was my favorite thing to do was, hey, this song is vulgar, listen to this.
It's Labor Day and my grandpa just ate 7 hot dogs.
Yeah.
Cursing okay? Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, no, I don't fucking care.
Alright. I don't fucking care. So anyway, this journey that I've gone on with punk rock is, pretty much entirely because of you.
Okay.
Even with music in general.
Well,
right?
everybody... There was that running joke with our circle of friends that I was the what do you call it? The genesis or the I am the core of the music.
You held the musical genres together.
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't exist, then music wouldn't branch off into different genres.
Yeah, because I could hang out I don't know who listens to pop specifically, but like I could hang out with somebody and listen to pop because I just like everything.
Yeah, I think pop just plays on the radio, and doctors' offices play the radio.
Right. Sunny 106, as you mentioned the other day.
You the other night, right? Oh, we have a radio station in our area that I feel like just got trapped in the 2000s, like the early 2000s.
And that's literally all they play.
Yeah, that's it.
We didn't really continue on this conversation, but that's literally all they play.
Yep.
It's a lot of Kelly Clarkson. What the hell else?
Jason Mraz is on there a lot of the time.
I can't even think of who.
Hoobastank.
I used to hate that. The Reason.
Yeah.
I have an appreciation for that song now.
It's still a bad song. I hate it so much.
Lyrically, I like it lyrically. I can get into that off podcast.
right.
But anyway, we're here to talk about pop punk. Did you like write down any honorable mentions or anything?
So my piece of paper has 7.
Okay.
7 bands on it. So I guess and I didn't number any of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I know which one is number 1.
Okay.
So if I had to choose definitely like an honorable mention for me, it's one that I actually wasn't into as much when I was younger, but like now that I go back, I see their hits.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, those were all like I had those songs on my MP3 player or my burnt CDs.
I had a memory on Facebook a couple of weeks ago, and it was like, well, I just hit 3,000 songs on my iPod.
But yeah, I had a couple of their songs on my MP3 player, and that band was Newfound Glory.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, right. So
they got hits.
They do.
I don't listen to them much.
They don't have... so I went back and listened to some of their older stuff, because I recently rediscovered them, and I was like, I can't believe I didn't listen to these guys more when I was younger.
I think they just came back, too.
Yeah, they had a really great album come out, I think, in like 2016 or 2017. I think it was called Selfless.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
And that album was really great and was in my rotation for, probably a whole year. Mm-hmm. But like, to me, that gets an honorable mention because I had never really heavily engaged with those guys.
Yeah.
And when that album came out and I checked it out, I really did. I really, really did enjoy it.
They just had an album this year.
Huh. Oh, it was Resurrection. That's the album.
Okay.
Mike pulled it up here for us.
Yeah.
2014 is when it came out. But that album is so good. There's a song on it called Selfless. That's what I'm remembering.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, that album is, I don't know.
Opening track.
Yeah. I don't know if it's, I don't know if it's their best work, but, like, as I said, I listened to some of their older stuff, and, like, to me, this album is just a lot tighter. They've grown as a band. I think they've matured into their voice and who they are in adulthood, which, whatever. Like, we can say pop punk is a genre of, like, toilet humor and rambunctious teenagers and, doing their own thing.
I think that's only because everybody that liked it was young at the time.
Right,
yeah?
Right. And, like, I don't even know if it exists anymore as a genre.
Not really, because everybody's changed so much, which I'll get into with one of my
I have
picks
one that's,
later.
I have a pick on here that has, like, pop punk roots.
Yeah.
That, like... you can tell that their original sound. I'll get into it later, but like you can tell that they've morphed. So, do you have any honorable mentions?
Yeah, before you get your last honorable mention, I actually have
2. The 7th was a note that was from work.
Okay. So I wrote down 4, just because they popped in my head. Like, I feel like I have to mention them. And I didn't really know they were considered pop punk, but they come up when you search pop punk. So, I don't know. Like, Green Day.
Yeah, I can get. Yeah. So I would say for them, old Green Day, 80s Green Day, early 90s Green Day, is probably more punk rooted.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Leaning into pop punk, but as they came back, 1,000% I would call them that.
The reason I bring them up in my honorable mentions is because the first CD, I said this on the last podcast, the first CD I ever bought with my own money was American Idiot. So, like, I don't know. I guess that one could be kind of pop punky.
That I would absolutely call that album pop punk.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, that's where I really listen to them. So that's why I mentioned them. The next two are Together. You only got one more, right?
No, I don't have any more.
You don't have any more.
No, but I thought of one while we were sitting here that is an honorable.
Well, let me. I'll get down to one, and then you can go again.
Yep.
So these two are kind of intertwined because members are in both. Goldfinger.
Okay.
Superman. Basically,
99 red balloons.
That's a great cover.
Yeah, it is.
So their bass player is in MXPX, who I found from the most recent Tony Hawk game. They have a song on there called "Let's Ride."
Yeah,
and they just I've listened to other songs from that song, and it's just great.
Yeah,
you need to probably listen to them. So go ahead with your. Or no, you're done. You're done.
No, I got one. I thought of one while we were sitting here.
Yeah.
That I just didn't. It didn't make my list. Reliant K.
Yeah.
Reliant K.
I remember you and Aaron.
Yeah. Real great band that flies under the radar a little bit.
Yeah.
Sadie Hawkins Dance was so good. It was such a jam.
There was only one song. They had like one real popular song. I don't remember what it was called.
They had that one, and then they had "Be My Escape" was also really popular.
Yeah.
But
neither of those are ringing a bell.
Fair enough. You would know them. I'll play them for you after the podcast, and you'll know one of the two of them. But Reliant K had a really great album with that. I forget the name of it now. The one that "Be My Escape" is on.
Okay.
But yeah, that was a really, really good album that I listened to a lot when I was younger.
This next one had to be honorable mention because I didn't feel right putting them on the actual top
Your
five.
Top five, right?
Because they only existed for one album, and you can probably guess what it is. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Plus 44.
Oh, I didn't even think about them.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I didn't even
that
think
album
about the
just,
Blink breakup.
I still pop it on.
It's so good.
Oh my god.
It's such a good album.
Yeah.
Like, it is, so if we're talking about 2020 Blink-182, I would argue that Plus 44 is like the beginning of what Blink-182 would become.
Yeah. There's
like... Go ahead.
We can get into it later, but
yeah,
there's
of course we will. I'm sure if Blink isn't on our freaking lists for both of us, like what
are we doing here?
Yeah,
there's rumors that because the last single they put out, it's only Mark singing.
Yeah,
and the video doesn't show anybody other than Mark and Travis.
Yeah,
so the rumor is that Matt Skiba is out of the band.
Okay.
So obviously that ramps up the rumors that Tom DeLonge is coming back.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't know if that's what we need.
I don't even care.
Not that Matt Skiba was like, I don't know. He was okay.
Oh, I thought it was great. I thought the album was really good.
Anyway, we'll get into that later. So, do you want to start number 5 or do you want me to start?
Go ahead. You go.
Okay. That's, that works. So, I put this one at number 5 because I don't want to call them a joke band. Because they're not a joke band. Because they're great musicians.
Mm-hmm.
Bowling for Soup.
How did they not make my list? Dude, so, Bowling for Soup. Oh,
Trucker Hat.
Such a good band, right?
Yeah.
Like, the entire album,
What
The
was
Hangover
that?
You Don't Deserve is what
Okay.
it's called.
Yeah.
Is their big album that blew up with 1984 and Almost and Trucker Hat and all their huge hits, right? Because they, like, before that, they had Girl All the Bad Guys Want.
Great song.
They did
So.
Punk Rock 101. Like, what a great band that was playing the music of a genre that they were simultaneously making fun of.
Yeah.
But they loved it, right? Because
Yeah.
the best comedy is
'Cause they-
reflective.
I mean, they haven't had an album since 2016, but like they put out a song specifically about Alexa Bliss from WWE.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever saw it.
I have.
Okay. It's not like the greatest song ever,
Right.
but it's Alexa Bliss, so I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't even know that much about any of their albums. There's songs that I know.
So there are, like, for the listeners, if you're going to listen to a Bowling for Soup album, I would 1,000% start with A Hangover You Don't Deserve.
Yeah.
Like, every single song on that album is worthy of listening to. Like,
Oh my God, Ohio.
yeah, Ohio.
Well.
And then to follow it up later in the album with just like a constant parody of the song.
Yeah.
Like, so they're already like a parody pop punk band. And then Ohio is such a ridiculous love story song that later in the album they make fun of the song that they've already put on the album. Like, it was really good. It was such a good...
Is that what this reprise is?
Yeah, Ohio Reprise later in the album.
I don't know why it's labeled number 43 on the
So
track.
there were, on the album, there are 17 tracks.
Right.
And then after you hit the track number 17, instead of doing like the silent track that would eventually play a song later, kind of like some of the stuff like AFI did with the Sing the Sorrow album, Bowling for Soup broke it into like I don't know, like whatever that is.
Yeah.
43 minus 17.
Too hard to math.
26.
There you
26 like 10-second silent songs.
Wow.
Yeah. So it would be, you'd get to track number 43 and then it would just play the song when it got there. And it was like, oh, I guess who listens to music to silence and then is like all of a sudden surprised that there's a song later.
Well, I guess people would probably discover that because they'll play an album and then go to sleep.
Yeah.
And then they'll randomly probably wake up and be like, where the hell's this song?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But yeah, that's I would start there. They did a couple, they did a greatest hits compilation, that isn't listed on their official discography here.
Right.
But like, they did a couple, I want to say like remastered versions of their song.
Okay.
Punk Rock 101 is on that.
Oh.
Like their greatest hits thing, and in the middle of it, you can tell it's a different version when you start listening to it.
Yeah.
But at the end where it does the like Tommy and Gina, they're living on a prayer.
Yeah.
Where it says, "Did you really just say that?" It goes, "Did you just say that again?"
See, that's what I love about them because it's just they're funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You talk about guys that were just trying to have some fun with the music that they were making.
Yeah.
Like, not really trying to make it big, not really focused on the fame and everything. They loved a genre, and they loved picking on it at the same time that they loved it.
Yeah.
One
of my favorite songs, and I've never listened to the album, but one of my favorite songs is High School Never Ends.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that album isn't as strong as A Hangover You Don't Deserve.
Yeah.
Like, there's a couple good ones on there. Like, Friends Like You is good. When We Die is actually a serious song.
Oh.
Yeah, that one is...
it sounds like it would be.
Really, yeah, that one's really shocking, because it was an adventure away from what they had normally done. I remember when it came out, people were like, Bowling for Soup made a serious song. Can you believe it?
Right.
But Like it's a good album. It's just not as strong as a Hangover You Don't Deserve, in my opinion. But like, I'm just a dude, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, those are my opinions.
Yeah.
Anything past there, I haven't really listened to.
No, me neither. And maybe it's time to change that because I just turn on the hits, or the nostalgia hits, as I'll call them.
So, moving forward for my number 5, I put a band on here called The Story So Far.
Okay.
And they're my number 5 because I couldn't name you a single one of their songs.
Oh.
I couldn't tell you what they're called. I couldn't name any of their albums. I do think that they have a self-titled. But I listened to this band. They pop in, and anytime I listen to them, I'm like, man, this is so good, right? And then I end up
The Story Inside.
The Story So Far.
So far, okay.
Yeah. So I will listen to a whole album and just not get bored. Of listening to it. And I just think that they are they're just one of the best bands out there today. For this kind of genre, right?
Much more recent.
Yeah, they really are. Right? Because their album listing, the first one's 2011, and their most recent's from 2018.
Yeah.
But, like, they are absolutely incredible musicians. And every album that they've put out, I have listened to, like, from start to finish, without fail. Just because it's just an enjoyable ride. Now, I couldn't tell you any of the names of the tracks or whatever, right? Because it just kind of all runs together for me. But I don't know. I just really enjoy listening to them musically.
Yeah.
Because they're so tight together. So that's why they made my number 5. And I would certainly be remiss if I didn't mention, one of my most recent favorite bands to discover. Even if I'm not like as dedicated to knowing all of their tracks.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really cool because mine has nothing like that.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah, because I mean, there's not a lot of bands in this genre that I really listen to. So,
yeah.
So yeah,
cool, man.
I have nothing.
Nothing to add. You never even heard of these guys.
Never even heard of them, but I will check.
You got to give them a listen.
Yeah.
So we have a buddy. So for the listeners, and maybe he's one of them. Who knows? But we used to joke with him that the singer for this band sounds exactly like him. So anytime one of their tracks would come on, we'd be like, "Oh, Gavin's band is playing on the stereo."
That's funny.
So, but we would joke with him that like it was him because his singing voice is almost identical to the guy in this band, and that's part of how the
does he like them or
he loves them.
Oh, okay,
they're one of his favorite bands.
Okay,
but
I didn't know if it was like shut up.
Yeah, no. But he, and this is a friend of ours that has done the music scene for a lot of his life and been the front man for a couple different bands. So, but anyway, we would always joke that this band sounded just like him singing. But then, like, they make really tight and really good music. So, it sticks with me that I can listen to an album from start to finish and just, absolutely love the whole experience.
Yeah, I mean, that fact alone solidifies it.
Yep.
My number 4 is a band that we'll probably talk about forever.
Yep.
Sum 41.
Yep. Okay. My number 4 as well.
Okay. So Sum 41 for me, I don't think they were the first pop punk band. Because I'm pretty sure I definitely knew Blink-182 before them.
Yeah.
But, my God, I don't exactly remember the first time that I heard Fat Lip. But I'm sure if I went back somehow and watched myself react to it, I would have probably been like, this is the greatest thing ever. It makes so much sense now why I love this band.
Yeah.
Because they have metal influences.
Right.
Specifically, as they say in Fat Lip, Maiden and Priest were the gods that we praised.
Yep.
I'm not the biggest Priest fan, but I mean, Maiden obviously is fantastic. So that makes sense now why I fell in love with their sound. And they brought guitar solos into, kind of mainstream, we'll call it, pop punk.
So I would argue that without a band like Sum 41, I would argue that bands that are a little harder, like, like, I'm going to get in trouble for saying a little harder for some of these. Like Pierce the Veil and Of Mice and Men and Woe Is Me and We Came as Romans. Like, those guys, I feel, would never be like post-hardcore is an evolution to me of what pop punk was.
Yeah.
So
that's
bands,
what Warped Tour turned into.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? So those bands, in my opinion, would never exist if a band like Sum 41, which had some heavier songs,
oh yeah,
would have not paved the way for popular mainstream punk music to include a heavier type of genre. Mm-hmm. So, so here's my question.
Yeah.
For you, and probably where we're gonna find our biggest disagreement about Sum.
Yeah.
What is your favorite album? Like, what is your, what do you think is their best work?
I mean, here's the thing. Like, for some reason, I never owned anything past All Killer No Filler.
Okay.
So I mean, it's just like songs here and there. Mm-hmm. This is what the latest album got me back into them. Mm-hmm. And again, like you kind of said with your last pick, I couldn't tell you the names of these songs, other than Out for Blood is absolutely fantastic.
It is good. Yeah, I listened to it.
45 Matter of Time is also great. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I've listened to this album a couple times, and it's like Sum 41 is back, you know?
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately for me, like, Underclass Hero, I remember you jamming a lot.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
And, like, I just never could get into it.
I love that one.
Like, Underclass Hero just sounds like Blink-182 to me.
Yeah.
And that's not a good thing for me.
Fair enough, I guess.
Walking Disaster, I think I'm okay with.
Yeah. Dude, March of the Dogs is so good.
See, like that, I don't even know what that one is.
Yeah.
With Me, I don't listen to With Me.
Yeah, that's whatever. That's whatever. That's just a ballad on a song.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, so if we're gonna talk best of like that era, right? Like, All Killer No Filler is clearly their best album of that time period, right? Because who knows what? Maybe of all their albums.
I mean, how much of it is just a nostalgia trip?
I would argue that either it's between this and Does This Look Infected?
Yeah,
right.
Which is another one that I just never digested.
But you know a whole bunch of the songs.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
Still Waiting, the Hell Song. I'm sure that if you played No Brains, you would know that song.
Yeah.
Like, Over My Head, Better Off Dead.
Yeah.
Like, you know that song.
Right.
Like, Does This
Still
Look...
Waiting. I want to point out, like, now this album, I should love this album.
Right.
Because this one's the one that's, like, almost thrash metal. in a way.
Let's call it thrash punk.
Thrash punk, yeah. Well, I mean, thrash is punk metal.
Yeah, you're right.
But, because, like, Still Waiting is one of their hits, but, like, the riff in that song is incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
Not that I play guitar. I'm talking from and I'll probably get shit for this, but from, like, a Guitar Hero standpoint, like...
I didn't know that song was on there. I don't remember that one.
It was DLC, like, I had later.
Oh, okay.
But, like... It's almost... I compare it to, like, Battery. Remember how crazy, like...
Yeah.
It's like that.
Okay.
Like, you don't hear it when you're listening to the
I
actual
remember
song.
Whiplash.
I can still play that without looking
God,
at it.
Whiplash was so much fun. Anyway, we digress.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, mine... It's unfortunate. They're one of my favorites, but...
I mean, All Killer No Filler gets all the hype, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's... Every song
and
on there
I'm
is
part
so
of the
good.
problem.
Yeah. Every song on there is so good.
Yeah.
But, like, Chuck has some really good good songs, too.
Yeah, let me look at that one, because
Like,
I don't remember.
Chuck has,
We're to blame.
Yep, we're all to blame. Some say, Slipping Away. Like, man, and, like, people get, emo, whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, Pieces was a good song. Like, I liked that one a lot.
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
But, like,
not
Chuck was a good album, and they wrote that, a little piece of Sum 41 Lord that I remember from from that era, is that, like, in, like, 2000, when did this come out? 2004?
Oh, God.
Yeah, 2004. They had just gone across seas to play a band, or play a few shows for the troops after 9/11, and they came back and wrote this album based almost entirely off of that whole experience that they had over there.
Yeah.
And this is an incredibly anti-war album during an era where America was united in, like, fighting the beginnings of what is now endless war, right?
It's so funny that this album came out the same year as American Idiot. That's just kind of how my brain thought of that.
Yeah. So this is the beginning of what came to Green Day's, like, resurgence in countercultural, like, punk rock rooted mainstream culture again, right? And, we can argue that hasn't stuck around as much or whatever. I mean, it's present, I would argue, in, like, the hardcore music and the post-hardcore stuff, but like, this was I would say the beginning of the start of, like, what are we doing with these wars, and anti-war message from a time where everybody was still kind of hyper focused on 9/11.
Yeah, it says right here, Lane from 411mania.com. I'm sure that was a cool site at the time.
Yeah, probably.
He compared this album to Blink-182's 2003 self-titled album, Green Day's American Idiot, and Good Charlotte's The Chronicles of Life and Death. The lyrics are serious in this album. That's not English, is it? Am I just trumping over it?
The lyrics are serious in this album are a far cry from immature lyrics and antics that have become a trademark for Sum 41. He worded it very poorly.
Okay.
I think it was a very poorly worded sentence.
Sometimes I don't know if it's just me.
Nah, that's not you. That's really...
It just sounded really...
Yeah, that's a really poorly written sentence.
Okay.
But yeah, I agree. They are a far cry.
Somebody might have copied it wrong, too.
Yeah, that's true.
But
they are a far cry from some of the pop punk tropes that had... do I want to say plague? Let's say I was going to say plague, but I would say formed the genre that pop punk was, and it was a step away.
Yeah.
Like even and I don't have Green Day on my list at all, but, like, American Idiot is a far cry from Rock Show by Blink-182,
right? Yeah.
Like. Even a song like, even a more serious song from Blink-182's heyday, like, So Here's Your Holiday, the one that Tom wrote about his parents and fighting on his birthday or something.
Oh,
Stay Together for the Kids.
Yeah.
Like, even that song is still, in a way, selfish in nature and really not hyper-exposing the pain, right? But, like, Chuck, American Idiot, even Blink-182's self-titled, like this guy says, those are, like, much more adult themes that aren't focused on adolescence. So, Chuck is a really good album. Yeah, I mean,
I gotta go back and listen, like, through the whole things, because there's a lot of stuff that I just don't remember. I'm sure if I heard them, it might spark a
I'm sure you know some of these.
Um,
I'm sure you know some of these. Just from us trading music back and forth. So
but I mean, like, and not to be that sucker on, all killer, no filler, but, like, I still throw this on. And I normally listen to music in, like, random mode. Mm-hmm. Just because I like chaos. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, like, this album, no. I have to...
Start to finish.
Yeah, I have to turn off, shuffle, and just... Oh.
Yeah.
Like when,
motivation, such an aggravation.
Like when Rhythms goes into... Or no, which one is it? I think it's when Nothing on My Back stops, and then it goes right into Never Wake Up. Or it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. But like, the transitions are so nice.
If I hear whatever the song is I'm thinking of, I can't remember which one.
Mm-hmm. You expect the next, like the end of that song to immediately start playing the next song.
That song ends, and then whatever the song is I'm thinking of that starts next, it just starts with the drum fill. Anyway, yeah, it's hard to hear this album and not.
No, I get that, right? Because like, so to get off the pop punk stuff, there are like on Kanye West's first and second albums, there are like little spoken word like skits, right? Interlude type deals.
Yeah.
And some of them really set up really well the next song that's coming. And without that, like if I'm just shuffling my Kanye playlist and I hear one of those skits, I'm like, oh, the next song's gotta be this, and that usually isn't.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm just not paying attention or whatever. But like, and I'll just skip the skit or whatever. But
yeah, that'd be terrible. Yeah,
I mean, it's what yeah, I've said it 4 times already. It's whatever. But like, I get that. I get that a lot, right? Like the song, the whole song itself sets up for the next song. And I agree. I always listen to that album from start to finish, which is the right way to listen to an album.
No, yeah, that's something that's totally missing these days. I mean, rock artists and people that aren't specifically in the pop realm, they'll still put full albums out. Mm-hmm. But like pop, like do any pop stars actually put out full albums? Like. I mean, I know they do.
I mean, they do, but does anybody listen to them?
But they're all about throwing those singles out,
except for talented ones, right?
Yeah.
Like let's give Adele some credit,
yeah,
right? Like I could listen to an Adele album from start to finish. Like oh my goodness, so good.
I don't know if Miley's new one is out, but like I am obsessed with everything that she's doing.
Yeah,
but yeah, we're gonna get shit on that one.
You are.
Yep.
I didn't agree to that. If people shit on me for my choice of loving Adele, they're wrong. So.
Well, I was thinking more on the Kanye side of things.
Ah, boo. Kanye 2020, baby. He's chosen to lead the free world. It's a whole Joe Rogan podcast. It was wild.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
that was our number 4.
Yeah, collectively, actually. So.
Yeah.
I'm going first, so I guess I have to go again, technically.
Yeah.
So, my number 3, I mean, there's no way you can't guess these. My number 3 is Paramore.
Oh, I didn't even think about Paramore.
Okay.
They're not on my list at all.
Wow.
Yep.
I mean, you were never like...
I liked, I like a lot of their first album, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Riot is so good.
That's not their first.
That's not their first album.
No.
All right. Well, Riot's where they got fame.
Well, yeah, I know.
Fair enough. I like Riot a lot. That's a really good album.
Riot's great. Yeah.
And then the follow-up to Riot, I think I really enjoyed as well.
Oh, dude. Oh God, I can't. That's why I pull stuff up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. Why isn't okay? This is the first thing.
They have an album before Riot.
Mm-hmm. All We Know Is Falling.
Don't know that one.
Oh, you know songs on that.
Really?
Yeah. Pressure, Emergency.
I know Emergency.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know Pressure.
Here We Go Again's another...
I don't know if I know that one. I probably do.
Franklin's great.
I don't know that one. I probably do know these songs.
Yeah.
But I don't recall
I mean,
them.
people... Obviously, most people heard Riot, and that's where they found...
They're so good.
Yeah.
It's such a good album.
I still watch the live DVD from time to time.
Yeah, to go back and listen to this from start to finish, it's perfect.
Yeah, it opens with, for a pessimist, I'm pretty optimistic.
Yep.
And then just in the...
Freaking Misery Business.
Yeah.
Like...
They don't play that anymore.
No, they don't play Misery Business anymore?
It's because Haley was like... The lyrics are very,
Yeah, aggressive.
Yep. From a teenage female perspective.
Yeah.
And she said, she's like, I can't connect with this song anymore.
Fair enough. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Did they still play For a Pessimist? I'm pretty optimistic.
I haven't seen that in the set list in a long time.
Either way, Fences is really freaking great.
Oh, Fences is great.
There's a lot of really good stuff on this album.
Let the Flames Begin.
Yep.
Oh.
Crush, Crush, Crush.
Yeah, that's...
that's the big hit. That's the mega hit.
That, yeah. That in Misery Business was
yeah.
Well, and that's what you get. There's like 3 super bangers on it.
But this whole album is really good.
Oh, When It Rains.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
Fantastic album. Funny story. I hated Paramore.
Did you really?
When they came out.
I don't recall that.
Because we were still... Believe it or not, we were still in high school when Riot came out.
Yeah.
That was my junior year.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So for me, that was like the peak of my pop punk music era. So, Riot just fit right in there.
I don't know why I hated it.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Mike hates women. No, I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe it was just like this.
It was so freaking popular. I think is what it was.
Yeah. It was just you were a contrarian about it, right? You just wanted to be the opposite of what everybody else was really enjoying.
Yeah, I was being Owen.
God, when are you going to do a podcast with him on music?
I don't know.
He's
do we want
a hipster. He's quintessentially a hipster.
Yeah. Do we want that battle?
You're right. I would talk to him about...
I don't even know what I'd talk to him about.
I'd talk to him about alternative bands. I think we could go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So back... I think that's why I hated them.
Yeah.
That was the tail end of, MTV was really just starting to not be music.
Yeah.
At that time. But when it was music, it was Paramore.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So I guess that's what it was. But anyway, I've become much more, maybe not obsessed, but I do love this band.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Brand New Eyes for a second, because, like you said, the follow-up to Riot is...
I don't...
That's the follow-up to
Riot.
Riot.
Okay. I just couldn't remember the name.
Yeah. Careful.
Yep. Careful. Ignorance. Playing God is so good.
Oh, yeah. Brick by Boring Brick. One of the singles, but it's fantastic.
The Only Exception got a single. Also very good.
Feeling Sorry.
Yep.
Is great.
Yep. The whole album's pretty good.
One of my favorite Haley Williams tracks is All I Wanted.
Yeah.
When she belts out All I Wanted Was You.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, she's a really talented singer too.
Yeah.
Right? That's something I feel like when you talk about Paramore, I think you miss the fact that Haley Williams as a singer herself is very talented. Mm-hmm. Right? She broke off and had some pop hits or whatever and did her own thing for a little while. But when you go back and you watch some of the live performances of the stuff that she did by herself, mm-hmm. she can belt out some notes.
Oh yeah.
She really can sing.
Mm-hmm.
But because she's in this, pop punk band, I feel like some of that stuff gets overlooked occasionally by the broader...
And that's where...
The broader musical crowd.
That's where the Paramore turmoil happened, really, was during this album cycle. Josh left the band.
Yeah.
The guitar player.
Yeah.
And his brother's the drummer. I think his name's Zach. I can't remember. But they both left after this album.
Yeah.
And, like, people, you know, it literally divided fans. Like, people were like, oh, I'm done with Paramore. Even though, like, the voice is still there.
Yeah, but, like...
Unfortunately, that's the most important part.
Yeah. Well, you look at...
I mean, and bands can replace the singer.
Right.
There's been great things and all kinds of music of replacing singers. But, so with that being said, I don't know if you ever...
nope.
Yeah. The next album after they left was just as good as anything else.
Yeah.
If not better. Much more pop-friendly in the hits, like Ain't It Fun?
Yeah. I remember that one.
Yeah.
I remember the hit, or the single.
And Still Into You.
I think I know that one, too.
I would imagine. But, I mean, like, Fast in My Car is a great album opener for all you listeners that listened to the last episode. I had to think about
album openers.
Album openers.
Okay.
Every Metallica album opener, I'm like, this is the best one. The song Now, that was...
Yeah, does Metallica open an album poorly? I don't think you get to having, like, 8 number 1 best-selling albums. 8 is an exaggeration. It's probably, like, 7.
I don't even know.
I remember when it was 5. It was... Like, I remember it was Jay-Z and it was Metallica.
Oh, okay.
Were tied for the most number 1 best-selling albums, and then both of them just kept making more number 1 albums.
Yeah.
So, like, who knows who it is now?
Now I'm curious. I know Shinedown has the most number 1s in rock.
Okay.
Like, ever.
Really?
They have, like, 9 or something. Actually, that might be wrong. It might be more like 12.
That's weird.
But...
Like, singles? Rock singles? Or rock albums?
Singles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm talking full-length albums.
No, I know, yeah.
Yeah, debuting at number 1.
Yeah, this is another one, like, it just keeps going, you know.
Yeah.
Last Hope's great. Part 2 is actually part 2 of Let the Flames Begin, and it's just like it's super jammy.
Yeah.
I love when bands do.
Yeah. That's really neat. I agree.
Yeah, so they've done great things. 2017 was a weird one. And I'm sure you probably haven't heard anything.
No, probably not.
Off of this. You want to talk about going straight pop? This is a pop album.
Okay.
I would argue that there might not be hardly any distorted guitars.
Really?
It's mostly like clean whatever. But there's good songs.
Mm-hmm.
Hard Times it was the single, and The Caught in the Middle was the second single. They're both great songs. Told You So was actually a single as well. And they're all three pretty great. So, you ever want some poppy stuff from Paramore, that's where you go. I think we've rambled about Paramore enough.
We're number 3, right?
Yeah, that was my number 3.
Okay. I just had to make sure that's where we were. We did talk about Paramore for a while.
Yes.
So, for my number 3, might be another band that Mike has never ever heard of.
Oh, great.
It's a band called Manchester Orchestra.
Okay, I think I've heard those words before.
Okay. So, they are a more recent, quote-unquote, pop-punk band. Because I'm going to say... So, we talked earlier in the show a little bit about bands that evolved and found a different song, right? Or a different sound. Like Sum 41, right? They leaned a little bit more into their heavy metal roots. But, so... Got their start in 2006 with their first album, I'm Like a Virgin Losing a Child. Probably my absolute favorite album that they put out.
Yeah.
Right? Up until 2017.
Oh, wow.
Man, that album, their 2017 album, is a transformation for the band. So, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in depth in a couple minutes here. But, so... These guys have entirely pop-punk roots. I would say the first 3 to 4 albums are very heavily rooted in that style and that genre. I maybe leaning into a little bit of alternative influence, right? You can definitely feel it. But what is so...
I'm not going to argue you, but they are...
Considered indie rock and alternative.
Indie and alternative.
I wouldn't call the I'm Like a Virgin Losing a Child album alternative. Like, I consider these guys like a pop punk band, at least in the beginning.
I probably know that song.
You probably do. Wolves at Night is the song he's referencing. To me, like, yes, I guess I'm dancing in that territory.
No, I'm not busting your balls or anything.
But this makes my list, and I thought about putting it higher. I thought about. I mean, there are just two bands that I have on my list that are, you know, absolutely genre defining for this.
Yeah.
So, but these guys to me have that sound in the early albums. Like, they put out, I think probably the thing that gets them that, like, alternative rock classification is they put out a dual record situation, much like Good Charlotte, where they did the Chronicles of Life and Death. There was a Life album and there was a Death album.
Right.
And there was crossover between the songs. Primarily, most of them were the same. But a couple were different. Manchester Orchestra did the same thing with their 2014 Cope album, where I believe, I might mess this up, but Cope is very much like the traditional Manchester Orchestra sound.
Okay.
And Hope is much more acoustic, singer-songwriter style of the two albums. They're the same songs.
Okay.
But they are in two different, like, a couple lyrics in them are changed too. But
it says Hope is an acoustic album.
Yeah. So they did that same thing, but they released them in tandem with one another between, you know, a couple months or whatever.
Yeah.
But those two albums are so good, and they are two different listening experiences entirely. And I would argue that the band has really left the punk roots that it has into a more alternative style, especially with their most recent album, A Black Mile to the Surface. That is an alternative album. Like you referenced Paramore's transition into pop. That is entirely an alternative album.
But that's an ongoing thing with these bands. Like,
right.
A lot of them go into, like, they kind of leave that pop punk sound, just because it was almost a thing of the time,
right?
For a lack of better term,
dude. I'll after the podcast, I'll play you Wolves at Night.
Yeah.
You tell me that's not, like, at least punk influenced as a song.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna agree on that. Granted, it might not fit into the same style of punk as, like, you know, some of Blink-182's Take Off Your Pants and Jacket.
Yeah.
Or Sub 41, All Killer No Filler stuff. But I would argue that it would 1,000% fit into like a Green Day, American Idiot melodic style song.
Okay.
Like, I mean, it's got distorted guitar and stuff like that in it for a punk song, but, like, I would argue that those are the same genre of music. And maybe I'm wrong. Like, I don't know, maybe people disagree with me on that one, but I would argue that Manchester Orchestra's first album could fit into a playlist. I mean, Spotify puts it in the same playlist as some of my, like, pop punk playlists.
Well, there you go.
Like, so if Spotify can do it, I'll hands down say that they're a pop punk band.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my number 3.
Yeah. I mean, this album cover, I would say, is very punk rock.
Yeah. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
It's a good album.
Yeah.
It's a good album.
I'll have to check that out as well.
Yeah. So what's your number 2?
My number 2.
We're going to probably disagree heavily in these next two fields.
I don't know. My number 2 is Fall Out Boy.
They didn't even make my list. They didn't even make my list.
Well, that's insane.
No, you'll understand.
Okay. Yeah, so anybody knows me knows that I love Fall Out Boy.
Oh my goodness. We used to joke when we would hang out with Mike that all of his playlists on his iPad or his iPod would always come back to Fall Out Boy. It was like every third song was a Fall Out Boy song.
Yeah. I don't even know where to start with this one. Actually, you know where I start? I start at the same place I started with Paramore. I hated Sugar We're Going Down when it came out.
Okay.
Like, absolutely hated it. I remember you playing it.
Dude.
And our girlfriends at the time loved it.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, From Under the Cork Tree is one of their, like...
Yeah, no.
It is such a good album. Like, I love it. It does not have a bad song on it. There's even some of the names are so hilarious and quintessentially punk rock.
Super freaking long.
Yeah, they're so good.
Yeah.
Our lawyer made us change the name of this song so we wouldn't get sued. Like, what?
Yeah.
That's, like... They didn't make my list, but, like, that's a Panic at the Disco type of song name right there.
Yeah.
Like... Yeah. Like, I've got a dark alley and a bad idea that says you should shut your mouth. Like, what? What is the name of that song?
Of all the gin joints in all of the world.
Yeah.
All the world. Whatever. I slept with someone in Fall Out Boy, and all I got was this stupid song written.
Yeah! Right? Like, these are banger track names.
Yeah.
Like, they fly under the radar because of Dance Dance,
Yeah.
Sugar We're Going Down, and a little less 16 Candles, a little more Touch Me.
Yeah, which
right?
still is...
It's in the same... That is in
Yeah.
the same naming convention, but, like, it flies under the radar because of the other hits that they put out.
Get busy living or get busy dying. Do your part to save the scene and stop going to shows.
Also good! Also good! I love it.
Yeah.
Fall Out Boy's Under the Cork Tree album is so good.
Yeah, and I don't think they stay with that crazy name thing, do they?
I think that there are a couple here and there. Like, you pulled up Infinity on High.
Yeah, this isn't nearly as long. A couple of them are.
Which also, I'm not as big of... well, you know, I've never listened to this album from start to finish.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I know a couple of songs. This Ain't a Scene, It's an Arms Race, Thanks for the Memories.
Do you know Thriller?
Yeah, I've listened to Thriller.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love Thriller.
I forgot that they did that.
Yeah.
I forgot that they did that.
Yeah, so... Yeah, my love on this album really... Like, I love the first 5.
Yeah.
And then... I don't even know what Golden is.
Okay.
Obviously, Thanks for the Memories. Don't you know who I think I am?
But so here's the thing that we can't miss about Fall Out Boy, though, right? Is because they've also kind of done that same route, right? As like Paramore and Manchester Orchestra and, you know, other bands where they've kind of gone their own way and moved a little bit away from their roots, right? Like, I'm thinking Save Rock and Roll is where I'm really going.
Yeah, and I was going to get there because that's...
Filet Ado.
Fully Ado.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
don't think I know one song off this album.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I Don't Care.
I don't think I know that one.
Oh, dude, that's a fantastic song.
Yeah.
America's Sweetheart
don't know.
It was a movie.
Okay.
Or a video.
Okay.
What to Catch Donnie.
Don't know.
Oh my god, you don't know that
I don't think I know.
That has Brandon Urie in it.
I don't think I know that one.
And Travis Scott.
I think I really... So the thing that turned me off to Fall Out Boy for such a long time was everyone's, like, love fascination with Pete Wentz.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that... I was just like, what?
He's by far my least favorite member.
He's just a bassist who didn't play...
Is he even that?
Yeah, maybe. Right. Right. Because, like, all of his bass tracks, no offense to him, are strictly linked to the lead guitar parts.
Yeah.
Like, for the most...
He's just playing
the exception maybe... Yeah, the exception maybe being Dance Dance, where he plays lead bass.
Yeah.
Like, but, like, I just don't... You know, I didn't see it. He was a pretty boy, in my opinion, and that's what everybody loved about him. Whatever. Right?
One of my favorite covers is on the Australian Deluxe Edition. Beat It.
Oh yeah, that was okay too.
I love that.
But like leaning into Save Rock and Roll,
Yeah.
where like the pretty boy emo era has kind of died at that point.
Yeah.
That album from start to finish, pure gold.
It was so great to have...
The exception maybe being the song with Courtney Love on it. Like...
Rat-a-tat-tat?
Yeah, that being the exception.
I like that song.
It's... whatever. It's there. But
honestly, I don't... And I don't hate him. But, like, I'm not an Elton John fan.
Oh, see, that's where I was going the opposite direction.
I figured
right?
you were, yeah.
So, the Rat-a-tat-tat song, I overlook simply because they redeem themselves with the follow-up and album closer of Save Rock and Roll.
I mean, it might have been just, I fell in love with this album just because I was like, they're back, finally.
Yeah.
I forget how long it had been.
No, this album is just quintessentially good.
Yeah.
Like, I had conversations with people...
Alone Together.
Yeah. I had conversations with people who did not like Fall Out Boy.
Yeah.
Who really loved this album.
Oh, I don't know.
They blew it out of the water with this one. It was so good.
Yeah. I don't know anything about this.
Like the...
it's like this...
Deluxe Edition Disc 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that either.
They're really short, though.
Yeah, all of them are like a minute. I bet they're just like EP songs that they had an idea of and didn't finish.
So, yeah, Fall Out Boy is... they're number 2 for a reason.
Yeah, for you.
And the
They
reason...
didn't even make my list. I didn't even think about them.
And the reason that they're number 2 for me is just because after that album, I really just... I don't like the last
follow-ups.
two.
Yeah.
Well, this one... Alright, I take that back for the...
Which one's Champions on or Centuries? I like
This
Centuries.
one has Irresistible, Centuries.
Centuries
Uma
is good to
Thurman.
me. Yeah.
I love Uma Thurman.
Centuries is good to me. I like that one a lot.
Immortals.
Yeah, that was okay too.
But like the
again,
rest...
though, I'm leaning into hits on this.
Right.
Right, I haven't listened to this album from start to finish.
That's the thing. I don't know anything other than
those hits. Right.
Those hits.
Yeah, I like Centuries a lot. I think that song's really good.
Oh, yes. Yes. And this... Like, I heard... I think it was this song.
From their most recent?
Yeah.
What's it called? Church?
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
It doesn't even sound like there's instruments in this album.
Really?
Like, it's...
Like an alternative, weird...
Yeah.
Like, playing around with stuff in
like,
it.
in their videos...
But that's Patrick Stump, right? Like, that's part of his influence.
But, like, this is...
He's all about pop. He loves it. His solo stuff was really good.
Yes. But there's just something about this. I can't explain it. So I'm not really going to try. But, like, I just don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about it. I thought there was two that I didn't like, but there's actually only one. So, but with my dislike for what they have done in the last couple years, that's, I think, why I put them at number 2.
Okay. So,
I don't know what... I know what one of your bands are, but I don't know what the hell the other one is.
So, you're going to... So, I'm taking into consideration that the band that I listed as my number 1 band, I did not listen to a whole lot when we were younger.
Okay.
So my number 2 band is Blink-182.
Yeah.
which is kind of a shocker to Mike, right? Because Blink-182 is they're genre defining for this this genre, right? Like, that's a stupid way to say that, but they are genre defining musicians for what we're talking about, and they were arguably the most popular. They have some of arguably the best songs, and they have transitioned into a modern pop punk band.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
They're also like one of the only ones that still like they haven't strayed away from the punk sound.
Right. I would argue they leaned a little bit more into the punk sound than the pop sound.
Right.
But that's not unfamiliar for them, because if you look at their early stuff like Cheshire Cat and Dude Ranch, those are heavily punk influenced albums.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is there a bad Blink-182 album? I mean,
I can tell you that like Cheshire Cat. Carousel, obviously.
Yeah.
M&M's is one of my favorite.
Oh, M&M's is so good. Yeah, if you're going to argue that one's bad, it's
but
this
literally,
one.
I don't know anything else.
Fair enough. I'll give you that. I listened to this whole album, right? There probably isn't until later Blink-182, like post Neighborhoods.
Yeah.
That there isn't a Blink song that I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. So this album, being their first and being so unskilled and whatever, I would argue is definitely not their best work and is probably their worst. Dude Ranch, though, leaps and bounds better.
Yeah, I
which,
without looking at the track listing, I'd say yes.
For the record, Travis Barker is not the drummer for those first two albums.
No, I know that.
So, even Damn It, though, when I think there's a music video, he is the drummer for that music video.
No, he's not in the video.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But, like, you know, people know Travis Barker as a Blink-182 drummer, but, like that other dude whose name I don't even know.
Scott Rayner.
Yeah? Okay. Glad you know that.
That's right there.
Oh, it's in front of you. But, like, you know, all of these songs are really great.
But we got to give it up to Scott, because this shit is fast.
Yeah.
It's...
Oh, yeah, it's punk rock rooted, man.
I think it's Josie.
Yep.
It's just, like super fast. Unless I'm thinking of M&M's. I don't remember.
Either or. Like, they're still... Yeah. You're right.
But, like, it's so fast on the hi-hat. Like, that's the shit I can't do. Mm-hmm. Like... So,
yeah, man, Blink-182 is just so good.
Dick lips.
Yep, dick lips. You know, and we're not even getting into Take Off Your Pants and like the Travis Barker stuff yet. So I would be remiss without asking.
Yeah.
Like, this is your number one.
Yeah.
I figured that one without saying. It's just, you know, let's get it out there so that we can talk about all of these guys.
So obviously, like, Enema of the State, like, I don't know what changed from Dude Ranch. Other than
Travis.
Yeah, okay, he was on this.
Yeah, Travis is on this one.
For a second, I thought, like, he didn't play on this, but, like, started touring with them. But I guess not.
No, so Damn It's when their success really started.
Yeah.
And Travis, I think, started touring with them during that time period.
Okay, so I had it backwards.
You have them backwards a little bit. Like, Travis gets recognition for Damn It, but he didn't write it.
Yeah. Opening with Dumpweed.
Oh my god. Aliens Exist is so good.
I love that song. Probably only because
so good.
Not to get into weird stuff, but, like, I love aliens.
Yeah, so do I. Tom DeLonge is wild conspiracy
was
theorist.
On what's that show on History?
Ancient Aliens.
Yeah. Tom DeLonge was on Ancient Aliens.
No way, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. Like, he
legit works with the government.
Aliens. Yeah, he is such an aliens, like, fanatic.
Yeah.
Like... So
it's great.
You know, obviously huge success with What's My Age Again with this album.
One of my favorite tracks that don't Going Away to College.
So good.
I don't know why.
Agree.
I just love
that one too.
Yeah.
I love that one too. You know, Adam's Song, All the Small Things.
I don't listen to Adam's Song. That's one of those ones that's pretty serious.
Yeah, it's a serious song for a punk pop punk band.
I don't listen to it that much. I don't know if it's because of the content or whatever.
Right.
But, it's a great song. I'm not trying to say it's not.
Right.
Holy shit is the party song fast.
Yes. Yeah.
Might being in American Pie.
Mm-hmm. Dude, huge commercial.
They were in American Pie.
Yes, they were. Huge commercial success with this album.
Yeah.
Which I arguably is part of. It was. Damn It was a very successful song.
It was.
And I want to say they followed up with All the Small Things. I could be wrong, but like, I don't know. Like that.
Actually, I want to say What's My Age Again.
You think?
Is
okay.
what broke them.
Okay. Into mainstream, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn It was popular.
Right.
But I would say I agree with What's My Age Again being like the...
I wonder what the first single was.
I don't know.
Does it say that here?
It might. Release. Wikipedia.
But, singles. Here we go.
So I bet they're listed in order of release.
That's
and What's
what
My
I'm
Age
thinking.
is...
Yeah.
What's My Age Again is first. So, just in the paragraph format. So I imagine that's probably what did it. You're probably right.
I mean, that's how I remember it.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, All the Small Things.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And they could have been really close.
They could have been. A couple months apart or something.
Yeah.
But yeah. What a wild album, right? And then my introduction is Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. I had never heard Blink-182 up until that point.
I mean, I owned Take Off Your Pants and Jacket first.
Right.
I mean, I knew those hits off of that album.
Yeah.
But I later went back and learned the rest.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is where you know, we get into it.
Right. Happy Holidays, you bastard. First ever Blink-182 song I listened to. It's Labor Day and my grandpa just ate 7 fucking hot dogs and he always shit in his pants.
He's always fucking shit in his pants.
Oh.
I didn't know it was an actual hidden track or whatever, but on Yellow Pants' version hidden track, Fuck a Dog is there.
No way. I didn't know that was there either. I didn't know that was there either. I've seen live versions of that.
Yeah, there's like a video of him like Tom DeLonge playing it in like the studio or something.
Yep.
On an acoustic guitar.
Yep.
I didn't know there was like an actual thing of it.
I didn't either.
Oh, that's Hoppus and DeLonge.
I didn't know that.
So yeah, when they write a song and they just whoever writes it sings it, I take it.
Maybe.
Yeah, because Hoppus sings the rock show.
Yeah. Where does it say wrote?
Right here. Oh, lead vocal. That's lead vocal. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know. I bet they wrote a lot of them together. But
it says all tracks are written by
all
Mark, Tom, and Travis.
Yeah.
This is you know their front to back album.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, there's not a.
I mean, I give it to Self-Titled too. I think Self-Titled's front to back.
We'll get there, but I never got.
It's a follow up to this.
Yeah, I never got as into it. I mean, I like some of the songs, but
really. See, I would say, and maybe this is just my alternative roots shining a little bit.
Yeah.
But, like, I absolutely adore this album.
Yeah. I know you always did.
Like, Stockholm Syndrome is so good.
Yeah, I mean, I remember liking it. I couldn't tell you how it goes.
Okay, fair enough.
To be honest.
I think the music video for Always is one of the coolest music videos I've ever seen.
Still.
Where they do the split breakup between all 3 of the Blink members.
Yeah.
Where, like, you could see, like, Mark's head playing drums while Travis is actually doing it.
No, it's a fantastic.
Yeah.
I wanted to give a shout out. It's in collaboration with the musician Robert Smith.
Oh, all of this? Yeah. All of this is a really good song.
I clicked on the wrong song.
Oh.
I was like, what the hell is it talking about?
Oh, okay.
I wanted to see if it said who did the music video. Directed by Joseph Kahn. Okay, well I recognize his face. He doesn't say. Probably because it's a crazy list. So yeah.
I mean, there's a lot here.
Yeah.
He did some Backstreet Boys and Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, that's why I know his name. Like
Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
Wow, this guy's got some serious repertoire.
Yeah.
Like, man, here's Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Black Eyed Peas, D12. Which song? Purple Pills.
Yeah.
Man.
Sum 41 Motivation.
Yeah, right. You did a Bon Jovi song?
Yeah, Every Day. I don't know that one. Toxic.
Toxic Britney Spears.
My favorite Britney Spears song.
It's a good song.
Rob Thomas. Want to know more.
Yep. This guy's worked on everything.
Jesus Christ. Lady
Gaga.
Love Game and this one that nobody listens to.
And nothing I can say.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, so this dude's awesome. Joseph Kahn.
So, we would be remiss without talking about after the self-titled album is the breakup.
Right. My favorite track I just want to throw out there is Down.
Yeah, well, yeah. So Down is a precursor to what would eventually become Angels and Airwaves, right? So is
That's true.
So is Asthenia.
Okay.
I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. But
looks right to me.
that is a super precursor to Angels. Like, that could be an Angels and Airwaves song.
Yeah, I was thinking of Angels and Airwaves, and I didn't really think that they were pop punk.
No, I don't classify them that.
I
would argue they're like an alternative band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But God, do I love them.
Yeah, I agree. I think they have some really, really, really good songs.
I want Tom DeLonge to make some more Angels.
I'm sure he will. So, you've mentioned Plus 44.
Yeah.
Tom DeLonge had a side project during this time period called Boxcar Racer, which was also very good. To me, there are a few songs on there that are very much Blink-182 songs.
Yeah, probably leftover.
Leftover tracks that they didn't use or something. Him branching off, trying to find his own identity.
Yeah.
And
that had Travis in it too.
Yes, you are correct.
Yeah.
You are correct on that.
Travis was kind of the middleman.
Yeah, he's been in both.
Yeah.
He just likes playing the drums.
Right.
So then they come back together after the breakup for Neighborhoods, which is, I think, good. I think it's a blend of all the moving parts, right? I think it's a great follow-up to the self-titled album.
Yeah.
I think it is a great follow-up to the Plus 44 album. And I think it is a great follow-up to the Angels and Airwaves albums that they all put in.
I mean, and there's some that I can't think of right now. I know I listened to this whole way through.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Ghost on the Dance Floor.
Heart's All Gone's probably my favorite.
That's a good one.
I really like that one. Kaleidoscope is really good too.
See, that's one of the ones I was like, I know I've seen that word.
Yeah.
After Midnight is also...
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of really great songs on that album.
Yeah.
And it all feels like great follow-ups to the work they did when they weren't in Blink.
Yeah, I would say, like, I don't know how to put it with the self-titled. The sound was different.
Yep.
Would you call it a little more emo? 'Cause it wasn't, like, vocally it wasn't any different.
I don't know if I'd argue alternative.
But, like, this, I would say this is almost a return to pop punk.
Yeah, I would say that, depending on the song.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Heart's All Gone is definitely, to me, more of a punk song.
Okay.
Than a pop punk song.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
really
a toss-up, right? Because there's influences coming from every direction of the stuff that they have done. Travis has done a huge amount of work in rap.
Yeah.
Like...
I think it was a little bit after this, actually.
That's films.
He's been in films? That many films? I don't know. Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Which I want to shout out something he's done recently. I guess I'll just stop and do it. He plays drums on Machine Gun Kelly's latest album because it's a pop punk album.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Another thing I'll have to show you or send you.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to Blink-182. But yeah, so I mean, everybody was excited that this was back. What'd they do? Like 2 years? I think they broke up again in like...
Yeah, they were together probably for
2011.
2 years of touring or something, and then
Yeah.
they broke up again. And so Matt Skiba joined the band, and full disclosure, I haven't listened to either of those albums from from start to finish.
Yeah, me neither. From start to finish, there's definitely some good songs. Holy shit, there's 16 songs.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple interludes, 16 seconds. Bored to Death is great.
Yeah, I agree.
It's
I agree. It's a good song.
I love the video. It's very reminiscent of, I mean, obviously, like, I don't know why high school is so prominent in pop punk, but like it's
that's
like
the genre, right? But that's part of the genre. Like it's one of the tropes.
My favorite though, She's Out of Her Mind. I listen to that all the time.
I've heard that one.
But the rest of these, like, I don't know. I've never heard any of these.
Yeah. From like 7 forward.
What the hell did they do with Bohemian Rhapsody?
Who knows? Maybe we'll have to listen to that.
Oh, it's Brohemian Rhapsody.
And then their most recent one, I doubt I know anything off of it.
It just came out last year, and I didn't even know that.
Yeah, see, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know any of these. So, I mean, whatever. You know?
Oh, Dark Side. I heard Dark Side.
I don't know that one.
It was okay. Blame It on My Youth. I think I heard that one.
Yeah.
They weren't bad.
Yeah.
I just didn't... I don't know. On some emo shit. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this has Skiba. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Who the hell's Feldman?
I don't know. Maybe a songwriter.
Yeah, no. Look at all these songwriters.
So,
I don't like that.
So, my number one.
Yeah, because, that isn't.
Yeah, surprise, right? So,
I don't even know.
You don't even know. Way to grasp at straws.
No.
I'm stealing all the thunder. Stealing all the thunder.
Did I forget something?
So, I really did like these guys when I was younger.
Is it His Day Has Come?
Nope. What a shout out to a local band. Oh, that was so good. No, so I really did like these guys when I was younger, right? Mm-hmm. But it wasn't until adulthood that I leaned back in and I was like, man, these guys really were genre defining and they changed the whole game.
Okay.
The Welcome to the Black Parade album is one of the best albums of that time period, and it's My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
Like, MCR...
I'm not mad at that at all.
No.
It's not a band that I ever got into too much.
Right. MCR
but I can jam to it.
Has so many great hits from that time period, right? They break onto the scene with I'm Not Okay, I Promise. And, like, to me, that just changed everything.
Was that the first one?
I think that was their first single. So they break in with that, and they have some of the best pop punk.
They've only had 4 albums.
Yeah, because they broke up after Danger Days. So
I thought they came back like
they did come back.
Yeah,
and that's what got me back into them. Right? So I went back and re-listened to a lot of their older stuff, and I'm like, man, this withstands the test of time and is actually really good.
I don't know anything off the first album.
Better than a lot of what Blink put out during that time period. I don't think I know much of the first album either. Maybe Honey, This Mirror Ain't Big Enough for the Two of Us, but
yeah.
That's the name's only ringing a bell. But I'm gonna say I know pretty much everything off of Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge.
Yeah.
And I know everything off the Black Parade. Like, the Black Parade is, from start to finish, an incredible album. Like, hands down.
Yeah.
From start to finish.
I just know some hits. That's
yeah.
That's what I'm realizing.
Yeah. Dude, My Chemical Romance is I think they're back, right? Like, I don't know if they'll ever record another album.
Yeah.
Because Gerard Way, the lead singer, he does a lot of comic book writing, right? And he wrote I don't know if you've watched it, The Umbrella Academy.
No, I haven't watched it.
He wrote that.
Okay.
That was a comic book that he wrote that has been transitioned into the Netflix show. But like, you talk about a guy that is talented in every regard, like, truly and honestly. And I think because of some of the hype of the other bands, like Sum 41, and because of Blink-182, They get overlooked sometimes, but the My Chemical Romance fans are die hard.
Oh, I was just gonna, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Their comeback show that they did, I think, in LA, sold out in like less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
no, people love them.
Yeah, and for good reason, because even Danger Days, as it leans in a little bit more to poppy side of things, is still a really good album.
I remember when that album came out.
It leans a little bit more heavily into pop while still, na song. But it leans a little bit more heavily into pop, and that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Because they were a pop punk band. They still hold on to the roots of like the distorted guitar and even throughout that whole album. But like,
I never went through.
It's all really good stuff.
I remember the video.
All really good stuff. So that's why I chose them as my number one.
Yeah. It's funny. I don't know if I don't know what my problem was. I'm coming to the realization I hated pop punk when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Other than Blink.
Yeah.
Because I absolutely hated Helena.
Its music video leaned into the emo. Because emo was just really starting to become a thing.
Maybe I just couldn't get into the imagery.
Yeah. But it's like a morbid song.
Yeah, no, it is. But like when that video would come on, I'm like, I hate these guys.
Yeah.
Like,
nah, I love this band. It's so good. Like
I come to like them.
Ghost of You, man.
Oh yeah,
Ghost of You.
Yeah.
That music video is so powerful.
Even back when I hated them, quotation marks. I remember that video and I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like,
props to them for that song.
Yeah.
Like, man, oh man. But anyway, that's what we got.
But the Black Parade, when it came out.
Oh,
The song.
So I hate the radio edit. I hate it so much because they cut out a whole verse. They cut out a whole verse in the radio.
I hate when they do that.
Yeah. Like, granted, the verse is it's probably identical, right?
Yeah.
But it's that when I was a young boy, my father took me to the city to see a marching band. That
Does the video version have the verse?
I think.
Okay.
But the radio edit cut out that whole first verse, and part of that is build up. It's build up to the rest of the song, and to me, if you jump right into the second verse of that line, you're skipping like a core element of the song. Granted, I get it why they did it for radio. It's a 5 minute and 11 and 11 second song.
Yeah, but they play Meatloaf songs.
Yeah, you're right.
He does 8-minute songs.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Cancer, so good. So good.
I don't know if I know that one.
Yeah, but anyway, that's what I got. That's my list.
Yeah. Teenagers scare the living shit out of me.
Yes. Yes. They scare me too.
I play that one all the time. Like on the drums. I have a drumless, like versions, mostly from Guitar Hero because it's easy to do. But like, I have versions of songs where there's no drums, so I play the song. And that's one of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's our pop punk list.
Yeah, it is. Top 5.
We're going to flip, like, the whole thing around and talk about stuff that we've been... Holy shit, we went for an hour and a half.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
So...
Let's make the what are we listening to pretty quick.
Yeah, pretty quick. I just wanted to be a part of the episode. So, have you been listening to anything specifically?
So today, I listened to a band called Right Away Great Captain.
Okay.
They the album that I specifically had on was The Church of the Good Thief. So this band, Spotify threw it in one of my daily mixes. And the song popped on, and I was like, is that the singer for Manchester Orchestra? And I was, I texted my brother because he loves them. And he's actually the one that got me into them.
Okay.
But I texted him, and I was like, hey, is this the singer for this band? And he's like, yes. It is. And it's definitely more of an alternative style. Like, it's a 2012 album. So it's a precursor to their alternative album that they just put out. Mm-hmm. But man, does it feel like the album that they just put out.
Okay.
So I actually texted a buddy of ours that's heavy into music. And I was like, hey man, gotta listen to this album because it's so similar to that Manchester Orchestra album that we both loved. And, yeah, so that's what I was listening to just today.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I checked out, man, I can't remember his name now. Logic. He's a rapper.
Okay. I've heard of him.
Yep. I was checking out some of his stuff recently. Really kind of dig it. It's cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
But that's what I've been listening to.
So the aforementioned Machine Gun Kelly pop punk album, been jamming that. Specifically, I wanted to talk about, because I've literally been telling everybody about this song, Wolfgang Van Halen, son of, Eddie Van Halen.
Yep.
With his father's passing in the last, about a little over a month ago, he has taken this time to finish a track that wasn't originally going to be on his album, but with everything that went on, he's like, I'm now going to finish that song, and he has now put it out. And it's called Distance. It's under the name Mammoth WVH. Mammoth being an homage to Van Halen, because that's what Van Halen was going to be called at one point.
Oh, okay.
So it's funny in that way. The song's just great. There's not much to say. The video is straight tearjerker. I've just been telling everybody about this because it's phenomenal. The rest of the album won't sound like that, but the proceeds for this song, whether you buy it or you just want to donate, it goes to Eddie Van Halen's favorite charity.
Really neat.
I forget the name of the charity. You can look it up just as easy as anybody, and it's for kids to get musical instruments. Gets the money goes to buying instruments for children.
That's really sweet.
Which is phenomenal. So that's what I've been listening to, and it's great. So
awesome. Yeah. Wow, Geek Tavern in the books, right? Music. What is this?
Musicology.
What's this show? What have I been on? This has been Musicology.
What have I been doing for an hour and 40 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you guys for checking out this second episode. And, yeah, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. We don't say that very often, so there it is.
There it is. Adios.
Later.